Hello, everyone.
Hi,
Yes.
everybody.
Hi, Olga. So we are live. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. We're doing a Facebook Live with Olga from Thermo Clear, and my laptop was opening up Facebook and giving us this beautiful echo, which was no fun. So welcome, welcome. Happy Monday to everyone. I'm so excited to be with Olga Shteyn today. And guess what we're talking about? We're talking about Thermo Clear. Thermo Clear is a device you can see. It's a machine. It's right behind me. It utilizes low and high radio frequency. And what's great about this is we have so many people on the page asking questions about how to boost their income on a daily basis, monthly, annual. This is a machine that can help you earn $150 in 15 minutes. Super quick, super easy. So Olga, tell me a little bit about the machine and your experience with estheticians being able to increase their income pretty quickly with it.
Yeah, definitely. Hi, everyone. It's so nice to be here this morning. So Thermoclear is a radio frequency machine. It is a class 1 non-medical system that works on the epidermis. It can treat skin tags, cherryangiomas, fibromas, milia, sebaceous hyperplasia, spider capillaries, so many different imperfections that no other system on the market can treat. So there's things like lasers that you can offer, microneedling, microdermabrasion, peels, so many different things that are amazing. But there's something extra with the Thermoclear because you can do the treatment after any treatment that you're currently offering. So Thermoclear would be done at the end. It is a spot-specific treatment that works directly on the epidermis. You don't have any downtime. There is some scabbing afterwards that can take several days to heal, but they can go back to working out. They can go back to work. They can go back to their regular skincare routine just after 24 hours. So it's an amazing system, and it takes just a couple of seconds to perform the treatment. The other awesome thing about the Thermoclear is that it costs you about $1 a treatment. So there's no high consumables. And because this can be added to any existing treatment, all you have to do is add an extra 15 minutes. And now your client can have things treated that they wanted gone for so many different years. So there, and it's all done on the epidermis. That's the amazing thing with the Thermoclear.
And I think what I like the most about this is that it doesn't damage or affect the tissue around it. It just focuses on the imperfection. So when a client comes in, and you all can probably calculate how many times this question has popped into your treatment room is, oh my goodness, what do I do about this little this? This has been bothering me forever. And what do you think of this? And what do you think of that? And look at this. And I'm going somewhere and I wish this wasn't here. It gives you the opportunity to say, hey, we now have a treatment called Thermoclear where we can treat skin imperfections. Sometimes it can be done in one treatment. They may need 2 or 3. It really depends on what the specific imperfection is, but in many cases, it's one. And like Olga said, at the end of the treatment, and oftentimes you may not even have to, you may even have that 15 minutes on your book, and you charge that $150, and your cost was only $1 for that. You can see that that is a really quick way to get your ROI. You're going to make your money back super quick on this machine. So it can treat anything from small capillaries. Think about clients who complain about little capillaries here or under their eyes. Oftentimes you'll see them on the chin. Some people will have capillaries kind of on the décolleté area, and they want to wear like an open dress or whatnot. It's great for cherryangiomas. It's great for little flat pigmented areas, which I've used it on my hands for that. And think of all your clients who have those flat, we call them age spots, sunspots. Clients are always going, I wish I didn't have these. I wish I knew to wear sunblock when I was little. Now we can mark off 15 minutes. We can treat all those brown spots on their hands, and they're going to keep coming back for any imperfection they have in the future. And what's great about Thermoclear is as they start seeing these results, you're going to start to get a lot of word of mouth clients, because this is not something that every esthetician offers. I want to reiterate, I love that it only treats the imperfection. So you can hone in specifically on where her or his concerns are and treat just that area, and then give them the post care. And like Olga said, 24 hours later, you're usually pretty good to go with their home care routine. The key is keeping the area dry. So this is not something you would do while someone's getting ready to go to the beach or a pool or something like that. We want to keep the area really dry afterwards. It takes just a few seconds per little area or imperfection. So that's why when we mentioned earlier 15 minutes, it kind of allows you to set aside that 15 minutes. You can have a timer if you want to, and you can treat as many areas. Most people aren't going to just want one little brown spot. Typically, if they have one brown spot, they're going to have 8 or 10 brown spots around it and possibly a couple other on their other hand. So that's where that 15 minutes comes in versus trying to charge them, oh, well, it's for one brown spot, it's this. And for 3, it's much easier to do the 15 minutes. And you may be done in 9 minutes. You may be done in 10 minutes. It really depends on what they have. But it allows you to kind of treat all these little imperfections that they have. As far as discomfort goes, I've had this done on myself. I've given this treatment. It's extraordinarily bearable. I will not say that it's enjoyable, but it's 100% bearable. And not only is it bearable, it is well worth the end result. The few seconds, and I mean seconds, that you feel a little zippy zap, it's over so quickly. And the client's going to yield those great results. So Olga, when you are in California, right?
Yes, we are located in California.
And I would think one of the number one questions we get on this page is, as you mentioned earlier, what do estheticians do if they're in a state that they're concerned about regulations? How do you recommend that they go about making sure that they can offer Thermo Clear in their practice?
Okay, so this is a class 1 non-medical device. So when you do contact your local state board, that is something that you need to mention to them. I know a lot of the times, because it has a probe, they might consider it a needle. It's definitely not a needle. It's a very fine probe that does not penetrate the skin. Each probe is so fine that if I was to show you it on video, you would actually not the tip. So each probe is individually packaged just like so they're sterile. And the probe is very, very small, just like that. So when you can barely see it. So that's the hesitation, is it a needle? It's definitely not a needle. It's just a probe, and it doesn't penetrate the skin. So when you contact your local state board, you just want to make sure you're telling them that it utilizes a high radio frequency and that the treatment is performed on the epidermis. Okay. I know that a lot of the time we might, the state board might say, it's a great area for certain things, or yes, you can use it. And then a week later, they'll say, oh, you can't use something. And that can be with chemical peels or microneedling or any of those things. So definitely let your state board know that it does work on the epidermis. That is the most important thing, because sometimes when they hear the word probe, they think that it might be a needle and they think that it's penetrating the skin. It's not. It's staying on the epidermis, and you're treating those imperfections. One thing that I did want to mention is, I know sometimes people will say, well, do you think that it's a lot to charge my client $150 for 15 minutes? It's not, because like Sheri mentioned, it is such a quick treatment that in 15 minutes, you can treat so many imperfections that your client is definitely getting their money's worth. And if they were to go to a dermatologist facility, they will probably be charged at least $75 to $100 per imperfection. Mm-hmm. And charging $150, and you could treat over 10 imperfections in that time period.
True. That's so true. And that is, that's a really, really good point. Dermatologists, while they will do these type of things, they actually prefer the esthetician to treat this. They want to treat a little bit more, a little bit more deeper into the skin. Another thing about Thermo Clear. So on Olga's point, making sure that you contact your state board, letting them know it's a class 1 device. And then third, and kind of most important, letting them know it's a probe, not a needle. And they really are tiny. They're not actually going in. They're so thin. They're just kind of scratching the surface of the skin or touching just on the surface of the skin. So giving them that information, because a lot of times they're not quite as familiar with equipment. They just hear the word probe and go, oh, that's a needle. This is also, and again, this is important to me. This machine is manufactured in the USA, and it also has a lifetime warranty. So I think that's important as well. Olga provides excellent customer service. It comes with or without a trolley, depending on what you order. We've got 2 bundles on the EC website. And just so you know, both of those bundles, one is the Thermoclear Pro and the other one is the Thermoclear. And I'll have Olga kind of bounce around the difference between them. But the both of them come with bundles of products. So sometimes it's skincare products, you can get extra supplies. You're going to get free shipping, which if you do order directly from California, that's going to be at least $100. So you're saving $100 on the shipping. You're saving at least $500 on the machine if you get it through the the EC website, and then all the little perks and bonuses that you get. Olga, if you don't mind, talk a little bit about the difference. Now, what I have here is the Thermoclear Pro, and there's two machines on there. We get this question all the time. What is the difference? Could you share with our viewers the difference between the Thermoclear and the Thermoclear Pro?
Yes, definitely. So the Thermoclear regular and the Thermoclear Pro can perform the same treatment. So everything that the regular can treat, the Pro can also treat, all the same imperfections. The Thermoclear Pro has 2 additional settings on the system that the regular does not. The Pro model is used a lot if you are going to be doing hair removal. And as you heard me say, the Thermoclear can treat hair. So it is a machine that uses the AC current, and it's more for the stubborn chin hairs, nose hairs that you have a really hard time getting out any other way. So with the Pro model, it has a time. So if you know and are planning to be using the machine for hair removal, the Pro has that setting, which has a timer, which is great for the hair removal. And the Pro also has an auto sense option. What that means is both of the machines require to use a foot pedal on most imperfections, but there are certain imperfections that you can use the Pro on without having to use the foot pedal, because you have your auto sense option, which is a great feature if you're going to be working around the eye area and you want to just be a little bit more precise and not have to focus on pressing the foot pedal. But otherwise, they can both treat the same imperfections, just the Pro has a few additional settings that make treating a little bit easier.
And that we get that question all the time. So I wanted to make sure we cleared that up. There's also 2 types of probes. I'm going to show you. There's a stainless probe and there's an insulated probe. I have found that the insulated is the one that I use the most. You're going to use, yes, you're going to use the insulated probe when you're treating anything that has moisture already in it. Am I correct here? Like your
infections, cherryangiomas, sebaceous hyperplasia, capillaries. You will treat it, use it also for sunspots. The stainless probes are used only for fibromas, skin tags, and keratosis. But otherwise, you will definitely be using your insulated probe more than the stainless, but the machine does come with 50 of each in your initial package.
So if you are using the insulated on flat pigment, you're just going to have to add a little water to it to give it that moisture. Think of the stainless as kind of like you're cutting something off, right? Kind of like you're, you're working on a skin tag and you want to kind of remove that. So you pull the skin tag up with maybe some tweezers, and then you'll use the stainless to kind of remove that. Whereas the insulated is going to be your go-to for the majority of the complaints that your clients have.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about post-care. So you can treat these skin imperfections very, very, very quickly within seconds. So again, what I would recommend doing is if you're selling this in a 15-minute interval, before you start the timer, you want to kind of get a grasp as to what they want treated, because you don't want to be 10 minutes in and then have her go, oh, let me undress. I need to show you something on my hip. No, you want to kind of find out where all those are that you're going to treat within that 15 minutes. Make sure that the area that you're treating is cleansed and, ready to be treated. You may or may not need 2 probes. It really depends on what they're having treated. But in most cases, if you're doing the same things, it's going to be an insulated probe. Then you just go ahead and you start all those areas going from section to section. And then when you're done, typically, and unless this has changed, you just put a little bit of calamine on it. That's what we have done. And you send them out. It's very dry. We ask them to keep it very dry for at least 24 hours. And then afterwards, they can go into their skincare routine, but you don't want them to be gooping it up too much, because any little flakiness or crusting, you want that to go ahead and come off. Did I miss anything, Olga?
Oh, exactly. You said it perfect. We do have a post-treatment instruction sheet in the operating manual, and it tells you exactly what to do. 24 hours, don't over moisturize. We don't want them exfoliating the skin while they're healing or using any prescription retinols because that will help to exfoliate the skin a lot faster. But other than that, they can go back to their regular skincare routine. And like Sheri said, all it is some Calagel that helps to start the drying process of, the post-care. And in your operating manual, you will have consent forms that come with the purchase of the machine. You will have a post-treatment sheet And the best thing is we like to call it our cheat sheet. Sheri's holding it up too.
Love it.
So Thermoclear does come with training and certification, but sometimes no matter how much training you have, you can't remember all the settings in your head. Eventually, this will be like the back of your hand and you'll know it all off the top of your head. But in the meantime, while you're learning, we have created something called a treatment card, but we call it our cheat sheet. So on here, it says what imperfection that you're treating, what probe to use, what setting, the technique, and whether you need a conductor or not to treat that imperfection. Certain things, like Sheri mentioned, have water, blood, or sebum inside to dehydrate, and certain things are completely dry. So all we do is we add a little water to the imperfection before treating it. This is everyone's best friend, and my clients thank me for this all the time. It really is so helpful.
It really, really is. And there's a range in there too, which I love because, you know, if you're like me, and I mean, I don't even work in a practice anymore where I'm seeing clients every day, but I am doing treatments from multiple brands. So I'm like, I'm doing a microneedling, and then I'm doing a peel, and then I'm doing a facial, and then I'm like doing all these other treatments. And then I'm like, oh, now I'm going to do a Thermoclear. So if you're not doing this all the time, all day, 9 to 5, this is your only procedure. It is hard to remember every setting for everything. And even as you start to learn it, going, I think I know what I want to set it to. And it's really nice when you go, yep, that's what I was going to do. It's kind of reassuring. So I keep that right. It's like mine is so tattered because I keep it right here. And even if I think I know the setting, I always double check because it's just one of those things. I think it's better to be safe than sorry. And then also there's ranges on there, which I really like because you're going to have skin that's going to be either newer skin to you, more sensitive skin to you. And then there's going to be skin that you're very familiar with and that you're comfortable with, and you've treated multiple times, that you're going to be able to maybe treat a little bit more aggressively depending on the range that she has in there. I always have with me the calamine. I always have this right here. I also always keep a thing of water, and I have a little bowl that anytime, because you know, if you're going to need to wet something, and then I just use the long Q-tips and I'll just dip it in the water and just dab the skin just a little bit, because that's going to help conduct the electricity, I could say, the high frequency through the skin a little bit. Olga, what have we missed? I want to make sure I reiterate that we have both the Thermoclear Pro as well as the Thermoclear on the EC website. You cannot beat the price. You're going to get free shipping, which is $100 value. And, you know, anytime you ship equipment, that gets really expensive because it does weigh a little bit more. Olga is also available. And do any of ours come with a trolley, or can they get that through you?
They can get the trolley through us. The machine is very small. It's also portable. So if you are a mobile esthetician, it's definitely easy to transport. Like Sheri mentioned, it does come with everything. We have marketing brochures that we provide for you. We have a sharps container, magnifying glasses, 100 probes. It even comes with a awesome flashlight that helps you to see the imperfections better because you can just point it at the skin so you could be super precise. It is an amazing system, and purchasing it through the EC, you definitely get that special discount. And we're always here and able to help you. We have a super active Instagram page where we post a lot of before and afters that you yourself can use while you're getting started. I always recommend to my clients to take before and after images, but in the meantime, you guys are welcome to use ours. And we're here, and we want to see you succeed with the Thermoclear machine. So anytime you have any questions, most of the clients even have my direct cell phone number.
And that's really, I mean, I'm sure I have reached out a few times saying, hey, I'm treating this. What do you suggest? And I think that that's really important to note that Olga does provide excellent customer service. That's what I wanted to share on the Thermoclear. I personally love the machine. I have had my, I am 56, almost 57. And I have been treating my hands with the Thermoclear, and I do not have any of those lovely spots that I used to have on my hands. One of the before and afters that I think is in Olga's file is my hand. I mean, every time something pops up, I'm like, yes, I can get that. So you never think of yourself waiting for something or wanting something to pop up. But if I had a client base, and I remember when I had my practice in Virginia, if this was around back then, I would have done so well with this, because I would say at least half of the people that I saw every day would have added this onto their service. So it's a very quick ROI, which I really like. And I also appreciate the fact that you allow them to use before and afters before they build up their portfolio, because all of you know, before and afters are really key when you're talking about skin imperfections. You know, there it is, there it's not. I mean, night and day, simple and easy. And you want to put those up on your social media as soon as you can have them, of course, getting consent from your clients or your patients. But until you can build that portfolio, by all means, you should definitely be using the ones that Thermo Clear provides, because that's going to help bring that client base into your practice. So again, reiterating, you're getting both of the probes, the stainless and the insulated, which look like this. You're getting all of the supplies that Olga talked about. If you have any questions, feel free to type them on this thread. We just wanted to do a live and share with you a little bit more about Thermoclear. We also posted a video on our YouTube channel that just launched like a week ago, right? It was about a week ago. And that gives you a little bit more in-depth understanding of how the machine works and what it treats. So pop over to our YouTube, take a peek at that. It's also on our business page. You should be able to find all of these things at estheticianconnection.com. We really appreciate you watching. And Olga, thank you so much for giving me your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. It's always great to train the EC members and to have these little chats so people can become familiar with the system. And Sheri, you're wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time on the EC. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You too.